Chosen one, the season of delay has come to an end. And now is the time for you to awaken and step into the transformation God is opening before you. This is not a message meant to frighten you, nor is it a call demanding that you chase something vague in anxiety. It is an awakening from hesitation, from the days when you knew change was necessary, but remained still because of fear. I want you to pause, take a deep breath, and recognize that an old season is reaching its conclusion. The things that once kept you trapped in cycles of doubt, exhaustion, and self-denial no longer possess the authority to direct your steps. You have been brought to this moment to choose. Will you continue living according to the voice of the past? Or will you rise with discernment and move toward the future that has been prepared? I know your journey has never been smooth. There were roads you had to travel without receiving an explanation. Doors that closed when you believed you were ready. And times when you prayed in silence, only to hear stillness answer you. You wondered whether God could still see you, and whether your efforts held any meaning when no result had appeared. But, beloved, not one of your tears has been meaningless. Sleepless nights taught you the value of peace. Rejection taught you not to place your identity in the approval of others. Prayers that were not answered in the way you expected helped you distinguish between what you wanted in that moment and what was truly good for the long road ahead. There were seasons when I did not immediately remove the weight from you, because, through carrying it, you discovered an endurance you did not know you possessed. You believed adversity was burying you, but it became the soil, quietly nourishing the deepest seeds within you. Look at a seed lying beneath the earth. No one applauds it. No light reaches it. And there is no visible evidence that life is moving within. Yet, in that darkness, the old shell begins to crack. Roots grow downward, and life searches for a way upward. You have gone through a similar process. Old parts of you had to break so that maturity could begin. And the seasons that appeared motionless were often the very times when your foundation was being built most deeply. Now, the season of remaining beneath the soil is nearly complete. I am not calling you to rise through arrogance or display, but through a life that is steady, sincere, and purposeful. Your light does not need to blind anyone. It only needs to be clear enough for those who are lost to recognize that a path still exists. The radiance I placed within you is not found in fame, wealth, or the number of people who praise you. It is revealed in the way you remain compassionate after being wounded. Choose truth when dishonesty appears easier, and continue sowing goodness before seeing the harvest. When you live according to these values, your presence will naturally bring hope without your needing to prove who you are. You may be asking why this call has come to you and why it feels urgent now. The answer is not that you are more perfect than others, stronger than others, or free from mistakes. You are being called because your heart can still respond to what is good. Because you have fallen many times, but refused to allow bitterness to become the final voice. I saw you hold onto a small thread of hope during days when there was almost nothing left to grasp. I saw you continue treating others kindly when you yourself were lacking tenderness. I saw you want to surrender many times and still rise again. That quiet faithfulness has prepared you for greater responsibilities. Yet do not interpret this preparation as a promise that everything will immediately become easy. A new door still requires courage to walk through. Freedom does not come only when circumstances change, but also when you decide not to return to old patterns. Purpose is not discovered only in one emotional moment. it is formed through small daily choices. Prosperity is not merely receiving more, but learning to preserve, manage, and use what you already possess with wisdom. A life that shines is not a life without trials, but a life in which darkness no longer has enough power to make you forget where you are going. Therefore, I want you to prepare with awareness. Look honestly at what is draining you and call it by its proper name. If a habit is stealing your time, begin changing it. If a relationship continually exhausts you, establish boundaries peacefully. If you have delayed learning, healing, or beginning necessary work, stop waiting for a perfect day. Readiness does not mean feeling no fear. It means deciding to move even while fear is still present. I am not asking you to see the entire road. I am asking you to remain faithful to the step being illuminated before you. Pieces of your life are being rearranged. Some people will leave because they no longer fit the new direction. Certain plans may change because what you once desired no longer aligns with the person you are becoming. Do not view every change as loss. Some things must close so that new space can open. Some rejection is protection. Some delay keeps you from entering a place you are not yet mature enough to preserve. When you look back with clearer eyes, you will recognize that God did not forget you in the turns of the road. He used them to lead you away from paths that could have cost you your peace. The final warning I place within your heart is not, be afraid that you will miss your blessing. It is this: do not continue missing your own life because of hesitation. Do not allow one form of failure to keep you from trying again. Do not allow the opinions of others to become a cage that keeps you small. Do not wait until everyone understands you before living truthfully. There are decisions only you can make. There are doors that open only when you dare to knock. There are lands that appear only after you leave what is familiar. I will accompany you, but you must place your feet upon the road. Beloved, the time has come for you to rise, not in haste, but in faith that has been tested. Carry the lessons, but do not drag every chain with you. Remember the wounds, but do not let them command your future. Be grateful for those who walked beside you, but do not cling to those who need to leave. Prepare your mind, order your life, and open your heart to what is new. The season of waiting has completed its work. Now the season of action begins. I am near you in every choice, every correction, and every time you dare to say that you will no longer live beneath the goodness placed within you. Stand firm, walk in peace, and let your life become evidence that someone once buried deeply can rise, blossom, and carry the fragrance of hope into places that were once covered by darkness. Do not allow doubt to quietly occupy your heart at the very moment a new door is beginning to open before you. I know negative voices often become loudest when you are about to move beyond old limitations. They will repeat your failures, magnify your weaknesses, and try to persuade you that what is coming is too great for your ability. They will tell you that you are unprepared, inexperienced, under-resourced, or unworthy of the opportunity. But beloved, the call does not come because every part of you is already complete. It comes because there is a seed within you that must awaken. When I lead you toward an assignment, I will also teach you what you need along the journey. You do not need to see the entire road before taking the first step. You only need to trust that the hand calling you possesses enough power to sustain you through what remains unclear. Your worth has never been determined by the opinions of others, by doors that once closed, or by seasons when you had not yet produced visible results. You are a work shaped with care, carrying distinct qualities no one else can replace. This does not mean you have no need to learn or change, but it means your unfinished places do not make you a mistake. You can still be growing and remain worthy of love. You can still have much to learn and possess the ability to fulfill a great purpose. Do not use the standards of people who have seen only one part of your life to deny what heaven has placed within you. They see only your present moment, while I see the years of preparation, every time you rose again, and the person being formed through each trial. The provision coming toward you is not an invitation to chase greed, but a call to learn how to receive and manage what is good with wisdom. Financial increase may come through work more suited to you, a new skill, an idea you once dismissed, or a partnership built upon integrity. Yet I do not want you to sit passively waiting for a miracle while ignoring your responsibility. Prepare, learn, save, reorder your expenses, and complete your work faithfully. The river of abundance does not carry money alone. It also brings opportunity, health, time, peace, and people who strengthen one another. When resources come, remember that their purpose is not to prove that you are better than anyone else, but to allow you to live more freely, serve more broadly, and become a helping hand to those in need. Healthy relationships are also being rearranged around you. People will enter your life not to take away your light, but to help you protect and develop it. They will not force you to continually prove your worth, use fear to control you, or demand that you diminish your dreams to make them feel secure. Right relationships bring respect, honesty, and responsibility. But to receive them, you must also be brave enough to leave relationships maintained only through dependence or guilt. Do not confuse familiarity with suitability. Someone having been beside you for a long time does not mean they have the right to walk with you forever. Examine the fruit of each connection if it continually produces anxiety, exhaustion, and loss of self. You need to create distance with calmness. I am also calling your attention to the restoration of your health and inner peace. You have become so accustomed to striving that you sometimes treat exhaustion as normal. You continue moving even when your body is sending signals that it needs rest. And continue carrying more responsibility even when your heart has become filled with noise. But the new season does not need an exhausted person. It needs someone who respects limits and cares for the life they have been given. Sleep enough. Eat regularly. Move appropriately. And seek professional support when needed. Do not believe that asking for help is evidence of weak faith. True humility knows that you are not required to solve everything alone. Healing may come through prayer, but it may also come through a timely conversation, a decision to change a habit, or the courage to leave an environment that continually drains you. This is the time for action, but not haste produced by fear. I do not want you to believe that if you fail to act immediately, every blessing will disappear. What belongs to you does not need to be held through panic. Acting in faith means moving with discernment, not rushing into every door because it looks impressive. Your next step may be submitting an application, beginning to learn a skill, ending an unfair agreement, or starting a project you have delayed for too long. Whatever it is, examine it through peace, truth, and responsibility. A right decision will not require you to lie, harm others, or betray good values in order to achieve it. I have gone before you, but you must still place your foot on the path. An open door does not exempt you from walking through it. If you want to use a number or declaration as a symbol that you are ready, let it remain only a symbol of a deeper decision. No comment, reaction, or outward action can transform your life if you continue nourishing old habits within. True readiness is revealed when you stop delaying. Release what causes harm. Keep promises to yourself, and act with integrity when no one is watching. I do not need you to prove your faith to the crowd. I want you to live it through the way you manage money. Treat people, care for your health, and choose what is right, even when it brings no immediate applause. A consistent life is the strongest declaration that you are ready to enter a new chapter. The fire within you has existed for a long time. Even as a child, you may have sensed that you saw the world differently from many people around you. You easily noticed sorrow behind a smile, felt uneasy about things others considered normal, or carried a difficult-to-explain desire to create something meaningful. At times, you tried to extinguish that difference in order to be accepted. You learned to remain silent when you should have spoken, reduced your aspirations so others would not feel threatened, and chose safety even when you knew you were abandoning an important part of yourself. But the seed entrusted to you did not disappear simply because you had not cared for it. It waited quietly for the day you would become mature enough to accept responsibility and allow it to grow. The world may tell you to choose the least risky path, but wisdom does not mean living your entire life in fear. Esther once stood before a decision in which silence seemed safer than action. She did not move forward because she felt no fear, but because she recognized that there are times when purpose is greater than personal comfort. You will encounter moments like this. You may need to speak a difficult truth, protect someone vulnerable, step into a new role, or leave a familiar position to pursue something more meaningful. Courage is not a constant feeling of strength. It is the decision to move while your heart still trembles. Yet remember that right boldness always walks with humility. You do not rise to receive praise, but to complete what has been entrusted to you with a pure heart. Beloved, this is truly a turning point. But the person you once were does not disappear through one declaration. That former version fades each time you stop allowing fear to decide. Each time you refuse to return to habits that imprisoned you. And each time you choose truth over self-doubt. A new person is rising within you, calmer, wiser, aware of who you are, without needing to diminish others in order to affirm your worth. Let that light grow through discipline, kindness, and faithfulness in small things. You were not born only to seek safety, but neither were you called into meaningless risk. You were created to live with purpose. Walk courageously, and use what you have received to bring hope. Therefore, lift your head, release the lies that held you back, and enter the new season with steady feet. What is coming may be greater than your imagination, but what is being formed within you is also stronger than every limitation you once believed impossible to overcome. Beloved, I warn you not to give up too quickly, not because I want you to endure without limit, but because exhaustion is trying to make you release your hold just before your role of love is fulfilled. Darkness does not always need to defeat someone through force. It only needs to discourage them long enough that they leave their place voluntarily. It will cause you to believe every prayer is useless. All patience is disregarded, and your presence makes no difference. But you cannot see everything being moved behind the silence. Some words you once spoke and thought had vanished still remain in that person's heart, like seeds awaiting their season. Some moments when you chose gentleness instead of retaliation quietly prevented another wound from forming. Sometimes when you simply sat beside them without judgment became evidence that the world had not completely abandoned them. Therefore, your perseverance may carry greater meaning than your present sight allows you to recognize. Yet you must understand this reminder properly. I am not telling you to pull someone from every pit by yourself. Nor have I given you responsibility for controlling the road they choose. You are not anyone's redeemer. You are only invited to become a sign of grace, sincere, steadfast, but never taking away another person's freedom to decide. Some people you love will resist help because they are not ready to face their own pain. They may question your motives, use sharp words to push you away, or continually return to habits that harm them. In those moments, love does not mean chasing them until you lose your peace and dignity. Mature love knows when to move closer, when to step back, when to speak, and when to pray silently. Sometimes the way you refuse to give up is not by remaining beside them every minute, but by keeping the door of compassion open while setting necessary boundaries so that neither of you continues hurting the other. I want you to distinguish faithfulness from self-destruction. Faithfulness does not require you to remain where there is violence, threat, manipulation, or continual humiliation. You can love someone from a safe distance. You can desire their healing without permitting them to keep harming you. You can continue praying, send a sincere message at the right time, or direct them toward professional support. But you do not need to become a bridge they trample upon each day. If someone is in serious danger, severe dependency, or behaving in ways that threaten themselves or others, seek capable assistance instead of carrying the burden silently. Wisdom is also a form of love. I have not called you to endure everything. I have called you to love while standing in truth. Remember the man whom the community doubted because of his past. Yet one person chose to stand beside him, introduce him to others, and recognize potential no one else trusted. That supporter did not transform him through pressure. He simply created space for renewal to be acknowledged. Because one person believed before the crowd did. Someone once feared was given the opportunity to enter his calling. You may hold a similar role in another person's life. They may not need a long sermon, but someone willing to say, I still see goodness within you. But you must choose to move toward the light. Your presence may remind them that the past is not their final identity, but they must still take responsibility for the choices ahead. You can point to the door, but you cannot walk through it with their feet. What makes this mission heavy is that you often see potential in them while they see only failure. You see someone who could become gentle, yet they continue acting from bitterness. You recognize their ability to build a new life, while they cling to what is familiar because they fear change. The distance between who they are and who they could become causes you pain. But do not love an imaginary version so deeply that you deny reality. See them with compassion while examining their behavior with clear eyes. Potential cannot replace responsibility. Someone having the capacity to change does not mean they have already changed. Therefore, hope without deceiving yourself. Remain generous without becoming naive. And be patient without allowing wrongdoing to continue growing. Perhaps you have asked why you must carry such deep concern. It is because what you endured made your heart sensitive to suffering many people overlook. You walked through days when no one understood you. So you know the value of sincere presence. You fought not to sink into disappointment. So you can recognize cries for help hidden beneath another person's anger. Yet remember this, your experience gives you compassion, not the authority to diagnose or make decisions for them. Do not turn your story into a pattern others must follow. Each person has their own pace, responsibility, and choices. Your task is to offer the goodness you possess. Speak truth in love, and leave the outcome in heaven's hands. Earlier trials also taught you that true strength is not always revealed through immediate reaction. Sometimes strength is refusing to answer an insult while angry. Sometimes it is ending a conversation when it is no longer safe and returning only when both people have become calm. At other times, it is speaking a firm but not cruel sentence. I love you, but I cannot continue supporting the choice that is destroying you. Compassion does not mean always saying what another person wants to hear. Some truths are painful in the moment but open a road toward lasting life. You are called to become light. And light does not only bring warmth, it also reveals what must be seen. Yet let truth pass through your lips with humility, not through a desire to prove yourself right. If that person continues pushing you away, do not treat it as evidence that every effort has failed. A wounded person often resists even what could help them, because help requires them to face what they have avoided. You do not need to pursue them in desperation. Let them know that when they are ready to change, they will find sincere compassion rather than condemnation in you. Then continue living your own life. Care for your health, work, family, and the responsibilities I have given you. Do not allow one person's crisis to swallow your entire calling. A lamp that wants to shine must preserve its oil. If you become exhausted, you will no longer be able to support anyone. Rest is not surrender, and stepping back to recover is not betrayal. The perseverance I seek within you is first a faithfulness to pure love. Do not let disappointment make you bitter. Do not let rejection close your heart to everyone else. Do not allow slow results to make you question the value of what is good. The person you care for may not change today, but the kindness you gave still carries meaning. It is also changing you, teaching you to love without possessing, give without controlling, and hope without turning hope into pressure. This is a profound lesson, because heavenly love always respects freedom. It invites, reminds, and remains patient. But it does not force. You do not need to blame yourself if that person ultimately chooses another path. Each person must take responsibility for their own answer. You can only remain faithful to your part. Pray. Be present when appropriate. Speak honestly. Preserve boundaries. And seek help when needed. After doing these things with a pure heart, release the outcome. You have not failed merely because you could not change someone. Love is not measured by its ability to control the ending, but by the way you preserve kindness and integrity even when the ending differs from what you hoped. Some seeds remain beneath the soil for a long time before a green shoot appears. And some seeds you plant will be watered by someone else. You do not need to see the entire harvest in order to know that sowing goodness was never meaningless. Therefore, beloved, do not give up on love. But do not forget yourself. Do not abandon hope for that person, but offer it wisely. Look beyond their immediate reactions. But do not close your eyes to harmful behavior. Believe in the possibility of renewal, but allow them to take responsibility for walking toward it. When you are tired, rest. When you are confused, seek counsel from trustworthy people. When the situation exceeds your ability, ask for appropriate assistance. I do not require you to become a solitary hero. I want you to become a witness of compassion with boundaries, patience with discernment, and a love that darkness cannot easily turn into bitterness. The way you love will become evidence that the noblest strength is not found in holding tightly to another person, but in standing firmly within the light, opening a road for their return without losing the truth of who you are.